Hello everyone. Here I'm going to be demoing for the lab 11.10.2 with design and implement the VLSM addressing schema. In these cases, we'll be given with two routers and two switches. The two routers they've been given from S1 to the BR1 is actually give you the 40 hosts, and from BR1 to BR2 they've given with two hosts. And BR2 to S2 is given for 25 hosts, and we also have three more hosts in here. All right, so that's totally with 6 network ranges. Okay, and in here we've been given network address with 192.168.33.128/25, and we've been asking to break down with 6 different networks. So how we're going to do that? Of course, they're going to use Cisco routers 4221 and the 2960. We ignore the last bit to do the demo. And let's check in what the other request in here. So what we're going to do that is we need to do the calculator, of course, and we need to do that. Let's look. So in part 1, we'll examine network requirement, developing a VLSS addressing schema for the network display in topology diagram to using that network address. All right, that's the one let me just highlight that one. And step 1, determine how many host address subnets available. All right, how many host address available in /25, and what is the total number of host address needed, and how many subnets needed in the network topology. Okay, and to be able to modify that, I have a PowerPoint presentation. So let's make it easier to answer questions. Okay, this is a diagram I copied from that Word Excel, and I developed with new things to better understanding. So this is a network diagram as we can see, and this is the IP address we've been given with 192.168.33.128/25. So if you want to know what is a slash, what that means, I have another one you can see. I've been putting everything together. As you can see, that's this is all the prefix from prefix 8, 9, 10. What it means is like each prefix actually means how many ones in your binary. So 8 is, and once you transfer that to decimal, will be 255.000. And if we come to 24 is a common one, we have 3 255.0. And the /25 will be 1, /26 will be double 1. So the ones we have is /25 in these cases will be 255.255.128 with one more one in here. And how many hosts? Network paths will be 7 bits. All right, well, this probably is, yeah. All right, let's come back to there. And to identify that's IP address, if you want to do the subnetting, you get a number as IP address from 192.168.128 till 255. All right, that's everything with that subnetting IP addresses. Okay, and now we're going to do the first one. So first one, I put all the requested with a network in here from BR1 LAN to BR2, and we sorted with from the biggest to smallest. All right, now when we have this first one is the 40. Okay, look at the network address CRID, and you're trying to find out how many subnet, how many bits we needed to be able to host in these ones. So that's what we're doing with 2 power for what equals how many hosts. Definitely have to be bigger than 40. If you can remember, that's fine. If you can't remember, a student diagram have that. 2 power of the 0 is 1, 2 power of the 2 will be 4, and 2 power of the 6 is 16. And for 2 power of the 5 is 32. Still not enough. Then we need a 2 power of the 6. All right, in this case, we need 2 power of the 6. And minus 2, that's the one we have. And the reason is because we need a 1 subnet mask. And we also need 1 as a broadcast ID. So that's one we needed. And you can have a look. All right, this is the network we have. So we will be 2 power of the 6 will be 64, minus 2 will be 62. All right, that's the one we have, big enough for 40. And the current IP, that's what we have with the 192.168.33.128. Subnet mask, since we need 6 bits for our host, then we'll leave that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 6 zeros as our host portion. All right, and that's the one. And if you look at that, converting, and if that's going to be /26. If you look at that, and if it convert to decimal, it'll be 255.192. I'll make that big a little bit. Okay. And the network ID in these cases will be keep the same, will be still be the same with that one. So we're going to be use that as the same, will be 0 in this case, and the rest one will be 0 because that's all logic and we're doing calculation from current IP and subnet mask. And of course, this 6-bit we use as our host section. All right, and that will be 192.168.33.128. Okay, that's one we have, which is we put in here 128 and the /26. Sorry. Yep. All right. And then the first IP address will be exactly the same as it is here, and the only difference will be we leave the last bit will be 1. All right. That's the one starting from the first available IP address, and last IP address will be starting from everything will be 1 except the I'm talking about a host section, except the last bit will be 0. And also the broadcast will be everything will be 1. Yeah, no zeros. And you can easily do the transfer. We'll be converting the binary to decimal. Will be 192.163.129. And then the last will be 192.168.33.190. And the broadcaster will be 192.168.33.191. Okay, so put in IP address in here with 129, and here we got IP address with 190. Last bit will be 191. Okay, and of course I can copy things in here. That's the one we have 33.129 started for the first one, and come to 191 as the last as broadcast IP address, and the broadcast will be 120 192, which is /26. Look at that. So we got it 1 as /25, but it will be divided with 2. So actually we will divide this network address coming with 2 for 1 is slash same with the IP ID, except the network subnet mask will be /26. And what's left? Yeah, next one. When you come to the next available IP network ID will be 192.168.33.192. Look at that, because the last one is 191. Next one will be 192 /v26. Okay, so we're actually using one big subnet transfer to 2 now. So this is the diagram we can see in here. So what we have is these are all the networks for 192.168.33.128. And now we will break it down to 2 networks. So that's the one we have. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's the one we have. And this is the second one. The first one will be given, well, if it's possible, we can just give to that bright line. Have a look with that one, with the networks we have. Questions? How many host address available in the /25? I think I probably can get the answers now. So it's actually, if you look at that ones we have previously, it's from 128 to 255, and it's actually about a 120, but it's more likely to say 2 power of the 7, but actually we're going to -2. Oh, sorry, that's not a power thing. 2 power of the 7 -2 equals, yeah, because we have 25 only 7 bits left. And what's number in there is 128 plus 2 will be 126. What is the total number of host addresses needed for topologies? All right, this one we can have a look. Just put a 42, 25, 5, 4, 4 together. Add them together. It's equally get the numbers will be 80 in here. How many networks we have? Yeah, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ones we have in there. All right, determine the largest subnet. What is subnet description? All right, that's one we use that BR1 LAN. That's probably is okay. That's the first one because that's the one we just doing in our PowerPoint, as we can see. And next one is how many IP addresses are required in a larger subnet. Okay, and that's the 40s we need it. Okay, put a 40 number in there. And also, what is the subnet mask? Can support that how many host addresses? Okay, so remember we're doing 2 power of the 6 is equals 64 minus 2 will be 62. That's the one we have. And how many host addresses can be subnet? Can the subnet mask support it? Oh, sorry, that's a question for that one. Sorry, what is subnet mask can support it? It's actually we're using the say we need a 6 as a host portion, and only 2 bits for the network section, and the 2 adding the previous one is like 20, like more like this size. This is the one we have. That was been looked at once we have. That's subnet mask, and if you like, we got a /26. Okay, so we can say this is /26 or 192.168 dot sorry, maybe again 255.255.255.192. Yep. Can the subnet in these ones address to support these networks? Yes, we can definitely. What is the network address that would be result from this subnetting? Okay, so what we're doing, if you look at that, we did represent it was 2. So that's the 2 we have for these networks. Or maybe this would be easier to post as a picture. So if I paste this picture, that's definitely help. Yep, that's one we left it. And use the first networks for this subnet. Okay, so which means we're using that first one as a BR1. All right. Now we can look at the second one. Have a look. Determine the second largest subnet. Of course, if you look at the other one, the second network address will be 25. It's BR2 LAN. Okay, let's go back to here. So what's the description? It's a BR2 LAN. And how many address request? Well, it's 25. How many subnet mask can support it? That all right. Let's come to that. Come back to our slides. I move to next one. So now we're trying to do the BR2 LAN with, well, if you look at the host, how many we need is 25. And we need to find out what's 2 power of what? More than 25. Yeah, if you can't remember, that's fine. We can go back to the slides. They're saying, look at that, 2 power of the 4 will be 16, not enough. And 2 power of 5 is 32. Yeah, that's going to be enough more than that numbers we have. So we come here with 2 power of the 5. And of course, I have the -2. One is network ID, one is broadcast. And that's going to be 30 in this case. It's definitely big enough than 25. And what is subnetting? Say, look at that. Since we're using 5 bits for the host section, and that will leave with 3. In these cases, will be subnet mask. And 5 will be our network, will be our host section. That's subnet mask we have. Okay. And if you look at that, that will be in /20. That's 888, and plus 3 will be 27. That's all we have. Okay, so we're going to transfer that will be 255.255.224. Okay, that's the one we have. And network ID, if you look at that one we've been given, well, the first one after 191, they come in with a 192. Sure, right? That's going to be 192. And subnet mask, which is figured out, is /27. Okay, first available IP address, let's have a look. Of course, definitely be 1 in there, 1 more previously added there. So let's just move that. Let me do the network ID. Remember the first one we're using is a 1 1 and then 0 0 0 0 0 0. That's the first one we have. It's a 192.168.192. Yeah. Highlight it. Okay. Now the first IP address we're gonna have is like everything in here will be the same except that bit will be 1. Or I'm gonna change the color again, sorry. Yeah, that's the first IP address available. And it was the last IP address available. Let me just copy paste it. Don't know why it's not changing color. Never mind, we just do that 11110, and that's the last one we have. And the broadcast, of course, gonna be everything in one. All right. Okay, never mind, I'll just change the color and also change the last number as 1. So, all right. And the type IP address will be 192.168.33.193, and the last IP address will be 192.168.33.222. In these cases, if you look at that, that's the all been added together, transfer from binary to decimal. Okay, broadcast 192.168.33.223. Okay, I'll just move things quickly to that. So 193, and that was 220.222. Remember, always last available host IP address is the even numbers, and the broadcast will be the odd numbers. Okay. All right, and that's the prefix 27. And as you can see, I got diagrams in here. So that's all the network address that we have. So previously we have that one which has been given with networks. Remember the ones we have with these two? Yeah. And now we actually use the first one as the BRLN, and we're going to use the second one, which we're doing more subnetting. It's coming for that. That's the yellow parts, which is the ones that we just be given for BR2 LAN, and that's gonna be 192/26, and that's gonna change to 27. And if you look at that, what are the things networks we left? We might smaller size. So that's gonna be 192.168.33. Dot. Remember the last one, 223. And that's going to be 224. That'll still be /27. Okay, that's the one we left, which is this bit. Okay, so that's the one we got a first LAN, a second, and we'll leave that one now. And if you look at our document, yeah, okay. So the second largest BR2, 25, with the subnet mask. Yeah, that's what we have is /27, which is 255.255.224. And how many host address can be supported? It's 2 power of the 5, remember, minus 2 will equals 30. Bigger than 25, that's good enough. Okay, and then can you subnet in remaining? Yes, we can do that. What subnet address left? Okay, look the ones we have. So we got, that's the 2 we have. All right, so let me paste in there, paste that picture. Use the first one for this network. Okay, fair enough. So we'll do the first one. So that's the one which has been used in our PowerPoint. So that's the one we've been used for that, and leave this one for next networks. Okay. Well, we actually can come back to our slides again. So determine the third largest subnet, which is BR2 to layer OT LAN, and also, but if you look at that, so this one, this first, second, these two are all the same. BR2 CCTV LAN, BR2 HVAC C2 LAN, they're all the same. All right. I think I can probably just put all these things together. So so what's the BR2 LAN? So we'll be saying one is CCTV, another is called HVAC. All right, this is two the same because when we do the subnetting, they're the same. So we're trying to say if it's possible, we can have two equally same with the size of the subnetting. How many addresses requested? Remember the ones we have? It's the 5. Oh, sorry, I got the run. Yeah, well, I think I forgot the one thing. It's the one we missed. Yeah, that's 25, and next one is the 5. Oh, you're right, but look at that. BR2 to LAN, CCTV LAN, HAVC LAN, they're all, well, I was saying 1 to 5. Let's put the 5 in there. Okay, have a look. So sorry, that's this BLT line. That's fine. How many we need it? 5. What subnetting we need it? Okay, let's come back to our PowerPoint and let me copy this one. That's the one we're going to use because that's the only one we left to be able to assign for networks. Okay, so move that. That's the original ones we have, and that's going to be another ones we're going to use. All right, that's the one we left, and the rest of them be given. So look at that. That's the 5 will be needed. Okay, in this case, that's the one we needed for our networks. And if you divide it, it will be 2 power of the 3 equals 8 minus 2 will be 6. Yeah, that's the 6 ones will be given. And then they were saying we need only 3 bit as a host. Then we can leave how many ones we in front will be 5 ones. All right, and last 3. So that's gonna be there. Let's move that one to green, which means that's the network section, and 3 bit as a host. So it's the section. Yeah, and if you convert in, that's how the prefix. How many ones we got? 24 in the front, 25, 26, 27, 29. Sorry, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 24. That will be 29. 255, 255, 255.248. All right, so that's the one we have in there. And for network ID, okay, we have a look because the one we're starting from after 223, we're starting from 224, which is actually the networks we have in there. Start 27, so 224 is actually 3 ones, and then starting with 0. Okay, but after the filter with the subnet mask, we know that this 3 is gonna be our net host portion. Rest bit will be our what do we say, the network portion. Okay, that's the one we have, and that's the one we got it. Okay, let me just paste that one. Let's have a look. Okay, just makes things easier for everything. Okay, then we come in with a network ID, of course, is a 192.168.33.1224. And the first IP address will be everything starting from 1. That's the one we have. And that's 192.168.33.225. That's the one we have, of course. And the last will be everything in 1, except the last bit will be 0. So if you transfer that one, will be 192.168.33.230. Okay. And the broadcast, of course, everything be 1. And that's going to be 192.168.33.231. Okay, we'll just easily type in there 225 and then 230 and 231. And if you look at the diagram saying that this has been divided with the first net and we've been occupied with that, that's the one we've been occupied. Okay, so we leave that, and also we've been divided with the first subnetting, which is /29. Okay, that's one we'll be given. And if you want to see the other twos looking here, they are the 4, but they also fit for this line. So we were using the same subnetting mask for this rest of the 2 because they were the same. In other cases, let's check in how many subnetting we can do with that. Because we're only actually using the 2 bits borrowed. So let's see what we got is, let me just highlight this one as no color. So that's actually, oh, that's the one we need. Sorry, let me just move this one, make it seem this is network ID we have. And actually this 3 is always been assigned because it's /27. So that's not the ones we can allocate it. So we can allocate it only this 2 bit as the host because that's the 2 bit we borrow, and we only need the 3 for the host. So for the rest of the networks, what we have is, oops, sorry. And then we can change network ID from this to 1 and to another to 10 and to 11. I think that's one we can do it. So end up with that with 224, and also next one will be 232, and next one will be 240. That's gonna be 248. That's the full networks we can assign to. So which means this is the one we have. And now we have the second one. Now we have the third one. Okay, here we look. Sorry, let me just have a look. And also the last bit was 248. Okay, don't forget they're all using the same subnet mask. All right. So if you want to give, we'll probably give these ones to the second one and last for the third one. So we assign this to 224, we give 232 and /29. Don't forget it. That's the one we ignore. Reason why it was 29 because we got a 5 ones as your network portion. And the update host in there will be from 233. And the available will be 24238, and that's going to be 239 as your broadcast ID. All right, and also that one as well. So look at that 240, starting from 240/29. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and also that 241, which is the first IP address. And if you look at that, I'll be adding that over 246. Yeah, always be the same, and 247 will be last one. The reason is 248, probably the last one we could delete it for here for the last bit. But if you look at that one, so we go back, the ones we have. Yep, that's actually the ones we built in there. So as you can see, we got every located. I think that's the one. We have these 3 being given. And that's 1, 2, 3 occupied. What's the left? What's the left in there? Last bit left. That's /2048/29. That's the little bit we left in there. Okay, for the last one, I think. But let's go back to the Word document. Let's finish some works in there. So this is the one, how many subnets can support it? Remember the ones we're doing? That will be /29 because that can hold in for 6. Yeah, the reason is 2 power over the 3 minus 2 will be 6. Or can you subnet the remaining subnet mask? Yes, we can do. And the networks we have, if we go back there, look at the ones we have. That's the 4. Come on, let me just give that. That's subnetting we have. All right. And then I can say we're using the first for this subnet. That's the one we used. And the rest of 2 for using. And we leave that at 192.168.33.248. All right, sorry, I'll have to probably mention that's all /29. Or I'll leave that for now. You know what I'm saying. And what is subnet description for the fourth one will be BR1 to BR2 link, which is the last one. Okay, so that's the last one we have. Only have for 2. Or if you check that one, so how many do we need it? 2. Was subnet mask supported? Well, do the math, we come back to here. So we'll be saying probably will be 2 power over the 2 in these cases. And that'll be 4. Or I'll be come to the last one. Just 1 second. So what we have 2 power over the 2 minus 2 will be 2. Okay, that should be enough for that. Okay. And in this case, we're probably going to say is always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we only need the 2 bits as our host part. Yeah, let me change that color to yellow. Yeah. So, and if you say, what is a slash? If you do the math, it will be /30 and 255.255.255.252. Okay, I'm not going to do the math for you, but you can check in the table, finding out. All right, and network ID is definitely starting from that. It was 248. So 248 starting the first one, /30. And well, I won't do the same, but look at that. So that's ones we can do the down ones the same. So we can try so everything we have. Don't forget that's actually the 0. That's the one we from 248. That's where we started from that. And because that speed is gonna be the ones we can use for our yep. So our network ID and we'll just copy that one. All right. Numbers with starting first IP address, last will be everything in 1 except last one with 0. So that's last 1. Okay, so that's everything we have. If you look at that one, it will be transferred to 148.33.149, which will be first IP address. Last will be 250. Right, easy. It's just next one to that. And the broadcast will be 251. Okay, so we'll be saving these /30s from the 249 to 250. Okay, and prefix gonna be 30, which is 252. And if you look at this diagram, we got this one being occupied as the first network, second network, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. What are we left? Yeah, this is only a little bit of it left. So you want to check the ones been left. So it's actually to say these are the ones been divided with 2 networks. So one is, let me minimize this fonts. So say it's /30. And the next one will definitely be 192.168.33. If you look at that, 251, it will be 252/30. That's the last bit we left, which has not been given to anyone yet. Which is in here. This last bit we left in there. Okay, so it's like almost every IP address has been allocated except the last bit. All right, let me come to back our Word document. So yeah, subnet mask, how many been supported? /30, which is 255.255.255.252. How many total host address can be supported? All right, 2 power of the 2 minus 2 equals 2. Can you subnet the remaining? Yes, we can do. And what we left, yeah, that's the one we left in there. So that's the 2 we got. Okay, here's the first one for networks. Okay, so now we get to figure out all the networks. Okay, and all the answers is in there. Just want to simplify, so I'm going to use copy paste for all the IP addresses we have. And this is for you to check your reference. That's all the IP addresses for you. And complete device interface table. Okay, and do the cabling. That's the rest of the things. I'm going to show you the ones that have been created. Have a look. We got the 2 routers and 2 switches. And to be able to show an interface as a requirement, you can go to the option reference, and you'll be finding that always show the port labels that can tell you where the port has been connected. All right, and you can move the networks we can have in there. That's 2 networks in here, and of course that was 3 future ones. Okay, and well, that's my IP. By the way, that's my email address. If you need anything, you can just email me. All right, to be able to rest of finish them, I'll just paste some answers in there so you can configure all these things with the password, everything. I'm not going to do that for you now, but what I can do is actually give you everything be requested so you can follow up in the future. So that's the one we can have. Let me have a little one prepare the answers for you guys. So if you look at from the step 1, so let me move a little bit. So we're going to configure the router's name with no DNS lookup. Come to exec mode, give a Cisco line console password things. Yep, and also configure your VTY password, and also encrypting. Make sure that you can encrypt the plain text password, and give the banner if you need it. And also we're going to configure the interfaces in each router. All right, this is going to help you with BR1 and activate the interface. No shutting down them, and also save the configuration file, make the test, yeah, and you will be able to finish these lab files. Okay, that's the final ones for your reference. If you want to check show run, they're going to show you all the commands. If you couldn't find any of them, you just paste them, find them, and do your own work. Okay. Okay, that's the final one for BR2. Okay, that's the full rest of them. All right, guys, I have finished this VLSM because of time I want to save the time for everyone. That's why I didn't record it such longer. And hopefully you can get through all these things. And let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to send me email. All right, thank you guys. Bye.